The aliens Cielson have been devouring human worlds for almost half a millennium. The mythical planet Vorgosos may hold the key to peace of the Xenobites, but first Hadrian Marlowe must find it, hidden in the deep dark of space. And if he finds it, will the immortal ruler, the Undying, even care about the Empire's plight? Hello and welcome to Liam's Lyceum. I am your host, Liam, aka Hemvar. Today I'll be doing a spoiler-free review of Christopher Ruoccio's Book 2 in the Sun Eater, Howling Dark. Howling Dark, released in 2019, is Book 2 in the Sun Eater series by Christopher Ruocchio. For those who have yet to read the first book, Empire Silence, there will be some spoilers for that book, and I have done a spoiler-free review for it. There's a link on the top right part of this video that you can click to go watch that. The beginning of Howling Dark is disorienting as we are thrown back into the mind of Hadrian Marlowe, who has just woken from the cryonic sleep of Fugue. It's been almost half a century since the end of Empire Silence when Hadrian finally left the planet Amesh, though he's only lived 12 of those years. Both of these combined makes our task of catching up a little tedious, but by this point Ruocchio has gained some of the reader's trust and I felt this confusion was okay. It also only lasts for a couple chapters. The quest that Hadrian set out on at the end of Empire Silence is still his goal, to find Vorgosos, the mythical abode of the extrasolarians. Hadrian is still human and by Palatine standards young. Things don't go as planned, he messes up, he fails. It's nice to be reminded by ancient narrator Hadrian that he is mortal and fallible. In the continuation of his quest, we see more of the strange, sometimes unsettling and oftentimes disturbing, but always fascinating people and places of the far future. We also get more hints from the narrator that Hadrian will end up doing and causing horrific things, costing millions of lives from his choices. We really explore humanity in this book, which shouldn't be too surprising for those who've read Empire of Silence. At what point do the modifications of our genes or bodies make us not human? At what point do our actions? We explore the philosophy of this along with getting some revelations on human history that brought the galaxy from our present day to the far future, which sheds lights on these prejudices. Along those lines, the world building really starts to shine, expanding from what we got in Empire of Silence. It was honestly an odd mix of classical Europe mixed with the Renaissance and a cyberpunk far future. The abnormalities present in some parts actually frightened me a bit, which was something I wasn't expecting going in. Story, we get more revelations either through experiencing, through seeing, hearing, or learning through history about the Americani, the Foundation War, the Quiet, the Cielson, and the Exalted. Along these lines, in some cases I got some Halo vibes, but I won't spoil what specifically made me think of that. Hadrian is such a fallible human character. He is so hopeful but naive. He makes mistakes though he tries to do good. He lies, he's brash, he gets people killed, but he tries to do his duty to humanity and the truth. Sadly, he has to use his sword, his orator, for this. We also get good development for characters such as Switch, Lysandra, and most definitely Valka, who, if you remember, was Hadrian's crush for the latter half of Empire of Silence. In some ways, this story is a little different than Empire of Silence, and those who want more epic adventure, more character growth, and more awesome revelations will enjoy this, even I think if you found Empire of Silence a little too derivative for your taste. I do feel like this would be a nice, soft introduction to sci-fi that may work for some, though I also realize that's kind of pointless to say on a review for the second book in a series. My biggest issue with this book was that there are more longer drawn-out battles, and while not written badly, they can be a little boring after a while. As I said for Empire of Silence, bravo Mr. Ruocchio. I loved Howling Dark. The story comes alive in a way only speculative fiction can, where fables are more real than reality. Those knowledgeable of certain classical philosophies will enjoy this. For instance, the Undying and Exalted are reminiscent of Gnostics. This feels much like an authentic love letter from the author to the fiction and history he enjoys, but also a philosophical fable with exceptional world building. More than half the book, I just wanted to read more, keep on turning that page and cut out distractions. In fact, I stayed up well past midnight just to finish it, which is something I don't do very often anymore. And I want to also thank Andrew from Andrew Wizardly Reads and Walker from Walker's Writes for reading this for their buddy reading in August and giving me an excuse to read along. For those who have watched my Empire of Silence review, you may remember that I found the story very touching and I even cried, which is something I share if it ever happens when I'm reading a book. In the case of Howling Dark, I did not cry nor did I even get teary-eyed, as I found the story a little less touching, though it does succeed in being more epic and really a grander plot going forth than the first book. And anyways, that's the end of this review. If you want more content, remember to like and subscribe. I will keep on pushing out these reviews, as these seem to be one of my more favorite themes to record, though at the point I'm making this, still it'll release probably well after I make it. I have still not been tagged in any tags, so I don't really know what it feels like to record those. So anyways, until next time.